All right, so the last picture you guys saw was thirds and fourths. You might have noticed that the result we got would have been the same result if we used the butterfly method. Sometimes it's as easy as multiplying the two denominators together. However, sometimes that's not the least common denominator, which is going to be what Pearson wants you to find. So in some cases, right here, we have an example of one fraction being a multiple of the other. I've got 2/5 and 3/10. Well, right away, I see that I could get 5 times 2 to equal 10. If I see that one is a multiple of the other, I can automatically start multiplying and make that my common denominator. So I have to ask myself, what times 5 gets me to 10? Well, 5 times 2 gets me to 10. So my new fraction here would be tenths. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So now instead of 2/5, I wouldn't have 2/10. I'm going to have 4/10. Again, we can come up to our fractions and just double check that. And in this case, I don't have to write 3/10 any different way. I can just rewrite it if it asks me to as exactly what I started with. Now I have 4/10 and I kept my original 3/10. That sometimes is actually the harder way because you have to recognize that one is a multiple of the other. And the last way that you might see would be something like, let's say, 6 and 8. So let's take some 6 and 8 out here. Got to get rid of my tiles. Let's talk about 2/6 and let's do 7/8. These two are not going to have any fraction tiles over here that I can split them up into. If I did my butterfly method and I looked at 2/6 and 7/8, I could find that the common denominator is allowed to be 48. And then I would have, multiplying this way, 16/48. Multiplying this way, I would have 42/48. But if you notice, both of those fractions can be simplified. They can both be divided by 2. I would get 8/24. I would get 21/24. So how can I skip that, getting really big numbers and then dividing to minimize it? What you are looking for is the least common multiple. So instead of just multiplying them together, I could have made a list for 6, and I could have made a list for 8. We've got 12, 18, 24, 30. We've got 8, 16, 24, 32. As soon as you see something in common, you're looking for the least common multiple. That was my 24. So what I can do is I can say, okay, I want my 2/6 to become 24ths. I want my 7/8 to become 24ths. And that's where I would have multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3. Those are the 3 different ways you would need to find common denominators. Good luck on your Pearson assignment. Let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon.